With colder temperatures settling in across the country, why not cozy up to a nice hearty risotto? Oh, it sounds fancy, it's actually easy to make, and here with his tips on how to whip it up in your own kitchen is Chef Romain Avril. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me again.
I like that you got like your chef version of a tool belt on.
Exactly. I'm hooked up for this most wonderful risotto we are going to make.
It is so good smelling in here, but what's our first step, Chef? Where are we starting?
So we're actually gonna have like risotto, usually it's just rice, but we're gonna make a little puree.
Okay.
And it's fall, it's winter. We have lots of squashes growing in Canada. This is the season. So first we're gonna take this beautiful squash, which we're gonna add some salt, some pepper, some olive oil.
Okay.
And what I do usually is like, I flip it back, and then I'm using the skin kind of like to help not burn. And then all the sugar are gonna concentrate, and we're gonna put it in the oven for like an hour.
At what? Around what temperature?
Let's say 400 degrees.
Okay.
Like we really wanna caramelize it. And then we have this beautiful product that we have here.
And can you scoop it out of that skin once
it's like literally you
comes
can
out?
just like peel the flesh off, and then off you go.
Drop it in here. Now, what else do you add?
So here we're gonna add a little bit of butter, and because I'm still French, remember? So we're gonna add a bit of butter to the puree. That's the idea, like that. The more, the better. It's Christmas. We need to make sure we are ready for winter.
Butter keeps us warm in the winter.
We're gonna add a bit of lemon juice, lime juice, depending.
Yeah.
And then the idea is we're just gonna like put it on. We'll like flip it.
Yep. Go ahead.
Let it go, and then we get it right. That's the puree. And then once we have that done, we would be on your left. We have this little puree right here.
Can I sample? Can I be gross and sample a little bit?
Like I would be sad if you didn't.
Okay, I just want to try. And let me just try it first. Oh, I could just eat this by itself.
You could actually. That could be a side on itself.
I would take some crostini and dip it. It's so good.
So if you don't have time to make risotto, you can just make crostini and dip it in it.
Okay, but we want to show people the full process.
We do want to learn how to make risotto.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
And I feel like people know how to make risotto, but there's few things that are gonna make your risotto the best one.
Okay, but also not everybody knows how to make risotto, and I stay away from it because it sounds fancy and hard.
It is, but it actually isn't. You know, like, and I'm gonna tell you it's something funny. First of all, you need to make sure your stock is hot.
Okay.
That is key, because I help emulsify. You have the starch from the rice that's gonna get released. The hot stock, they're gonna bind together, and that's almost like the creaminess of the risotto.
Okay.
There's no cream in it. It's actually just starch.
It's just starch. And the broth you're using, is that vegetable?
It's vegetable in this case. It could be chicken if you're doing like something more chickeny, so to say.
Okay.
But one thing, and people don't know that, is the actual pan itself.
Okay, tell me about this.
So I've had many people telling me like, when I cook risotto, I feel like some grains are cooked, some aren't.
Yes, and some are chewy, some are too soft.
Exactly. You know why? Because when you actually cook risotto, it's not like it's like a stirring bowl where like things are boiling away and then you haven't even cooking. Here, it cooks in pocket. So you want to make sure that you have a pan, and I will recommend stainless steel. Like this is All-Clad, this is the brand I love.
Yep.
But the idea is that you want something that's gonna have like the same cooking throughout.
Okay.
So like the heat is the same whether it's there or it's there, so there's no pocket of heat.
Got it.
Right? So you definitely want to look for, and this Christmas, so ask your relatives for a good quality pan.
And there's Black Friday sales right now.
And there you go. So like get your pan, and also if you look at the shape of the pan, because every pan has a different job. This one is curved, and I'm gonna show you.
Can I lift this up really quick?
Yeah,
off the
of
heat,
course.
just so everyone can see that. Yeah. So not completely flat at the bottom.
This one has like 5 layers of metal you can actually see on the side, so you really have a really nice heat.
And how important is the stirring?
It really is, because again, the emulsion of it, and I'm gonna add a bit, and I'm gonna have you assist me as well.
Okay.
So if you wanna put like the squash that we had diced and roasted, it's very nice.
This is, and what kind of squash are you using?
So you could really use, honestly, any squash you have. This is, you can use pumpkin, you can use a butternut squash. I mean, like, you don't have to go, it's like, oh, it has to be this one.
Okay.
You know, like I always say, a recipe is a guide.
Okay.
And you kind of adapt, right? So I feel like we could use slightly more.
A little bit more, and then what else do we want to add to this?
So you want to add your chives, you want to add the butter, you want to add the Parmigiano Reggiano.
Oops, am I adding in all the butter?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
make it nice and creamy?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then a bit of butter.
Okay. And then I see you've got some oil there too.
Yeah, so we have truffle oil, and I will tell you with truffle oil, you have to be very careful because it doesn't like heat. So you don't want to add it like too early in the dish.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give that a good stir, and you can see like the creaminess.
That looks
you know what I mean?
Beautiful. It's hearty. It's warm.
Have the color. So
Can we serve some of that, John?
No, absolutely not. We're gonna end the segment, and you are not going to get any of it. And I'm just gonna add. You know what? It's a very heavy dish, so I do like to add a bit of citrus
Oh,
just
that
to like
balance of
brighten it up.
flavors.
Yes,
so good.
exactly. We do love our acids.
Can I show everybody that you actually brought in a truffle?
I did. It's Christmas, and I was just like, I cannot have Mary not have truffle today, so I need to bring my own truffle.
Can I show everybody? How much would this have been, Chef?
So the whole truffle was about like $30.
This whole thing was $30.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get you to put these in the plates, and then we're
Absolutely.
gonna garnish it how you like, and then everybody can see us eat it
Yeah,
before we
and you
go
can see
really
like the
quickly.
color as well, and
Gorgeous.
the texture. Like I said, you want to make sure it's actually quite loose.
Lindsay and Winston are already standing by.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what am I? Oh yes, this is important. This is the sage.
Yes, so it's a fried sage leaf,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna like add a little truffle for you.
Oh, cool. I can't wait to try this truffle. And then tell me about these fried sage leaves.
So the
quick.
fried sage leaf, they're really gonna add like a little crispiness to the dish.
Yeah.
A lot of flavor. It's gonna be like adding like a oomph, and you can hear like when you put the when you put your little spoon through it, and we're gonna a little bit of, like we're gonna be very gentle with truffle because it can be
Gorgeous.
very overpowering.
Chef, this is amazing.
Little pepitas for texture.
A reminder, scan the QR code. You are definitely going to want this recipe. Chef, come back anytime,
Smell.
but bring the truffles. All right, we'll be right
Bring
back.
the truffle.
If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.